Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Bowdle and I'm a local real estate agent in Park City, Utah. Today we're going to be talking about going under contract. And what does that mean and what do you do now? So you've picked a real estate agent. You guys have been searching for months on end. You finally found the home for you and you go to put your offer in. You guys put in a strong offer and ding, ding, ding. We have good news. Your offer is accepted. So what now? Okay, now it is time to hustle because within your offer, you have certain deadlines that you have to hit. All right, so the first thing that you're going to get from a seller during the due diligence process is called a seller's property condition disclosure. So they are basically handing you a form and you get to read through it, and it is talking about all the things they are disclosing about the house. So it's going to talk about the roof. It's going to talk about if they have been the primary residences or if they have rented the property out at any point. It's also going to talk about the gas company, the phone company, the cable company in here, the water company, sewer, if it has a septic tank, the heating and cooling system, if there's anything that has been wrong with that, any equipment, any appliances, fireplaces, if there's anything that's wrong with any of the interior features or the exterior features, if it's ever had termites or pests. It's also going to talk about if the house has been remodeled at any point in time, any structural issues, or if there are any boundaries or easements to the property, so et cetera, et cetera. You can the property condition disclosure is going to be very detailed and it's going to explain kind of all the things that the seller has experienced within their home, if they have gotten them fixed or if they are still a problem. Next, during your buyer due diligence period, you're going to need to get a home inspection. And generally, it depends on your seller and the offer that you guys put in and how long of a due diligence period there is. Generally, a due diligence period is like 10 to 15 days. If it's any longer than that, a seller is going to get a little worried and a little jumpy because you have to keep in mind transactions a lot of times depend on what seat you're sitting in. If you're a seller and you drag on a due diligence period for too long, they are going to get nervous that you are going to cancel because you as the buyer have a right to cancel before the due diligence period is over and at the financing period as well. So you have 2 points where you are able to cancel a contract and pull out. And so that is extremely nerve-wracking to a seller that they could be 30 days into a contract and have a buyer pull out for some reason. So generally like 10 to 15 days is a good due diligence period and you really need to be on it. When they're testing for radon, sometimes that can take up to 3 days to get the results back. So keep in mind that some things that they're testing for can take a little bit longer than expected. Next, after you pass your due diligence period, whatever we get back from the home inspection, usually they'll always find something depending on how alarming it is or if you're not too worried about it. You bring your list back to the seller and say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we'd like to have these items fixed before we move in. And generally, it'll either be a big blow up and they'll say, no, we're not fixing this stuff. Or if they're minor enough fixes, this is kind of where the arguing starts to happen is right at home inspection. So having two agents that are able to harmonize everything and having a buyer and seller that are able to be agreeable and understanding that as long as you leave something on the table for the other person, there is always good karma. So if it is something major that needs to be fixed, obviously, yes, that needs to be fixed or you have the ultimate right to cancel. However, the home inspection will reveal if there's major or minor things going on. Next, kind of down your line is going to be your appraisal deadline. So you want to have, if the seller did not base their price on an appraisal, you're going to want to have an appraisal done and make sure that that home is actually worth what it's worth. Because if you are getting a loan, guess what? The bank is not going to give you a loan for a lot of money if the home is overpriced. They're only going to give you a loan based on what the home is worth. So you want to make sure that runs smoothly as well. You also have your settlement deadline coming up. So as I explained in an earlier video, settlement is different than closing. You as the buyer have a much bigger responsibility to get all of your loan documents signed, make sure you're getting everything to the lender in time, making sure that you're doing your due diligence, whatever is important to you, making sure that you are really researching whatever is important to you and doing your due diligence so that you are not canceling 30 days into a contract. So really make sure that you are on top of it. Everybody has their ducks in a row. And at settlement, everything should go smoothly. If all the documents are signed, you have your cash to close, and nothing has been delayed, then you should have a rather quick closing/recording and be able to get your keys to your new home. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you guys learned something, and please like and subscribe.